An 11-year-old girl was waiting at home one evening, desperately hoping her mother would return from work. Minutes turned into hours. Her phone wasn't reachable. None of her friends knew where she was. The child was alone, waiting and slowly realizing that something was terribly wrong. So what really happened to this mother who left her daughter behind, expecting to come back like any normal day? Let's dive into today's case. The Uttarakhand nurse incident. Nadia was a 30-year-old nurse living in the Rudrapur area of Uttarakhand. She worked at a private hospital and was trying to build a stable life for herself and her child. Life, however, hadn't been easy. Even after marriage and having a child, her relationship with her husband had deteriorated to the point where divorce became inevitable. After the separation, the responsibility of raising their 11-year-old daughter fell entirely on Nadia. Despite carrying the emotional baggage of a broken marriage and the trauma that came with it, Nadia continued working, continued parenting, and continued showing up every single day for her daughter. But in societies like India, being a divorced woman often comes with another burden: judgment. Even today, divorce remains a taboo. Divorced women are frequently looked down upon, treated as if they are somehow lesser or morally questionable. The stigma is real, and it's deeply rooted. Fortunately, Nadia's family wasn't conservative or narrow-minded. After her divorce, they stood by her. They welcomed her and her daughter back into their home and became her support system. They made sure she never felt alone. Nadia was trying to rebuild her life, not just for herself, but for her daughter. Living with her family after the divorce gave her some sense of stability and emotional strength. It reminded her that even after everything she had been through, she still had people who cared. She was trying to move forward. But tragically, her life was about to take a turn no one could have imagined. She wasn't fighting this battle alone. Her family supported her in every possible way, emotionally, mentally, and financially, helping her get back on her feet. Because of that support, Nadia slowly began to believe that she could restart her life. And that's exactly why she decided to rejoin her position at the hospital. From that point on, Nadia fell into a routine. Every day, she would go to work at the hospital, complete her shift, and in the evening, she would return home, either by rickshaw or by auto. This was her daily life. Predictable, normal, until the evening of July 30th. That night, Nadia never came back home. When she didn't return, her family immediately grew concerned. Her phone wasn't reachable. Calls kept going unanswered. Anxiety began to take over. Her sister, panicking, started calling relatives, friends, anyone who might know where Nadia was. But no one had any information. Every effort they made led nowhere. Then they decided to contact the hospital. When her sister called, hospital staff confirmed that Nadia had completed her duty and left on time, just like any other day. But after that, no one knew where she went. Hearing this, and without wasting a single moment, Nadia's sister went to the police station the very next day, July 31st, and filed a missing person report. The police began their investigation immediately. They tried tracking Nadia's movements through CCTV footage. According to the cameras, on the evening of July 30th, Nadia was seen leaving the hospital. After that, she boarded an e-rickshaw from Indira Chowk, heading toward home. But when police checked the CCTV cameras near her apartment, something alarming became clear. Nadia was never seen entering her building, which meant that somewhere between the e-rickshaw drop-off point and her home, Nadia vanished. At this point, police suspicion naturally turned toward the e-rickshaw driver, the last person known to have seen her. He was questioned thoroughly, but during interrogation, the driver stated that he dropped Nadia exactly where she asked to be dropped off. After that, he had no idea what happened to her. Despite all the investigation, the police still had no leads, no sightings, no clues. So the question remained, where did Nadia go? More than a week passed since she had disappeared. And honestly, it's heartbreaking to even imagine what her 11-year-old daughter must have been going through. She didn't have her father in her life. Emotionally, the only real support she had was her mother. Yet, Nadia's family refused to give up hope. Until August 8th, when, after a long and painful wait, they finally received news about Nadia. And it was not good news at all, since Nadia's apartment was located extremely close to the Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh border. The investigation soon moved beyond Rudrapur. About 1 kilometer away, in Bilaspur Colony, Uttar Pradesh, police were led to an empty plot of land. Hidden among thick bushes, they made a horrifying discovery. Nadia's body. Her condition was absolutely disturbing. The body had decomposed so badly that a strong, unbearable odor surrounded the area. Her limbs were stiff. Her face had been brutally smashed with stones, so severely that she was almost unrecognizable. The only way police were able to identify her was through confirmation methods beyond facial recognition. Her body was covered in scratches and wounds, clear signs that she had fought desperately to save her life before she died. I don't know about you guys, but when I read these details, I felt physically sick. I had just come off reading the Kolkata case, and after this, it genuinely felt like humanity had completely collapsed. When Nadia's family was informed, they were in absolute disbelief. All this time, they had held on to one hope, that somehow the police would bring their daughter home alive. They never imagined they would receive news this horrific. The family was shattered. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to believe. Because whoever could do something like this to another human being cannot be considered human at all. But the person responsible for what happened to Nadia had made one crucial mistake, a mistake that would eventually lead investigators closer to them. When police examined the body, they noticed something important. All of Nadia's belongings were missing, her purse, her phone, everything. And that could only mean one thing. Whoever attacked Nadia had also robbed her. Police immediately began tracking Nadia's phone. The signal eventually led them to Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. However, because this location fell under UP jurisdiction, the Uttarakhand police had to inform UP police about the case. But shockingly, there was no response. Even when Nadia's family personally tried to register the case with UP police, they were treated extremely poorly. This was completely unacceptable. There was absolutely no justification for treating a grieving family this way. And after this, Nadia's family completely lost trust in the police system. For some reason, the family began to believe that people from Nadia's own hospital were involved. According to them, when they saw her body, they noticed that some of her organs were missing. Because of this suspicion, Nadia's family began demanding a proper and transparent investigation. Soon, Nadia's colleagues and many people across Uttarakhand joined in protest, demanding justice for her. I don't know why the family initially felt that hospital staff, people Nadia had worked with for so long, could be involved. But as we later learned in this case, that assumption turned out to be completely wrong, because the person responsible for what happened to Nadia turned out to be someone else entirely. And even though all of the family's initial suspicions were ultimately incorrect, those accusations played a crucial role in the investigation. Due to the pressure created by the family's claims, the Uttarakhand police formed a special investigation team. And because of that, there were no major gaps or delays in Nadia's case. If the family had never raised those concerns, that special team might never have been formed, and there's a real possibility that Nadia's family might never have reached the real culprits. When police finally reached Bareilly, they traced Nadia's phone to the home of a woman named Khushbu. The moment Khushbu saw police officers at her door, she completely panicked. She was so terrified that she immediately confessed everything. Khushbu told police that everything that happened to Nadia was done by her husband, Dharmendra Kumar. She admitted that in an attempt to protect him, she had sent Dharmendra to stay with a relative in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. However, even after telling the truth, Khushbu was not spared. Because she had knowingly helped a criminal escape, police arrested her as well. On August 14th, police arrested Dharmendra Kumar from Jodhpur. But the question now was, who exactly was Dharmendra, and what connection did he have to Nadia? Dharmendra Kumar was a 28-year-old man, originally from Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. Due to labor work, he frequently traveled to Uttarakhand. He had grown up in extreme poverty. And because of that, instead of choosing honest work, he had turned to crime to survive and provide for himself and his wife. Robbery came easily to him. He showed no sense of humanity. Whenever he saw an opportunity, he would steal, without hesitation, without guilt, and without a second thought. Unfortunately, on July 30th, when Nadia was returning home, she crossed paths with this man. According to Dharmendra's own statement, he noticed Nadia getting down from the e-rickshaw. He was intoxicated at the time, and he began following her. When Nadia passed through a secluded area, Dharmendra attacked her and dragged her into nearby bushes. At first, his intention was only to rob her, to steal her money and jewelry. But Nadia fought back. And because she resisted, Dharmendra lost control. In his rage, and for reasons only known to him, he sexually assaulted her. After that, in an attempt to assert dominance, he brutally beat her. Then, using Nadia's own scarf, he strangled her. He tightened it so forcefully around her neck that she stopped breathing. Eventually, Nadia died. Realizing she was dead, Dharmendra repeatedly smashed her face with stones, deliberately destroying her features so she wouldn't be recognizable. After covering his tracks, he took all of Nadia's belongings, including her phone, jewelry, and 3,000 rupees, and fled the scene. After committing the crime, he ran away, and Nadia's body remained there for 9 long days. Just like the Kolkata case, this incident also triggered massive protests in Uttarakhand. Because people refused to stay silent, police were forced to make this case their top priority. A major role was played by Nadia's colleagues and the young, socially aware people of Uttarakhand. A large number of young individuals participated in these protests, and that public pressure is exactly why this case was solved so quickly. Police charged Dharmendra Kumar with robbery, sexual assault, murder, and abduction. Because of the severity of these charges, he could face life imprisonment, or even the death penalty. I truly hope this man receives the harshest punishment possible, and that Nadia finally gets justice. This case stands as a powerful example of what happens when people refuse to stay silent. The people of Uttarakhand didn't back down, and because of that, justice moved faster and the real culprit was found. Hopefully, there's something to learn from this case. Never silence your voice, not for yourself and not for anyone else. With that, this case comes to a pause here. I hope you're doing well, I hope you're staying healthy, and please, keep your loved ones close. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye.